But the video is burning up YouTube. A Los Angeles high school teacher calling for revolution. Our own Jeff Jenkins went to Los Angeles and found the teacher.
Here in South Central Los Angeles, Ron Gochez is a history teacher at Santee High School. He's making quite a stir now with a video on the internet that was made 3 years ago in a speech he gave on the campus of UCLA, where he rails against imperialism, capitalism, white racist people, and calls for open revolution.
This is about a global struggle against imperialism and capitalism. Yes. But we know that all of that is happening in the context that where we now stand is stolen, occupied Mexico. Yeah. And the message that we bring is we want to bring a little bit more of a revolutionary context to this. Why is it that these people, these frail, racist, white people, want to keep us out of this country? It's not because simply the color of our skin. It's not simply because they just want to exploit us. Let me tell you why. Because on this planet right now, of 6 billion people, at the forefront of the revolutionary movement is the raza. When you go to Venezuela,
we asked to speak with the principal here at Santee, as well as the superintendent of the LA Unified School District. Those requests were declined. The district did issue this statement saying, quote, the teacher in question was participating on his personal time, and the views he expressed during the gathering were his own and do not represent the opinion and views of the district. There appears to be no direct violation of district policy. We spoke with Mr. Gochez earlier. Here's what he had to say. Mr. Gochez, your speech 3 years ago making rounds on the web, do you still stand by your comments in that speech you made at UCLA?
What's important that people understand is the context of why that speech was given on that day at UCLA. When I said the racist white people, I was speaking specifically about the Minutemen who were at UCLA that day speaking about deporting illegal aliens. So when I say racist white people, I meant it towards them, not all white people. Come on, man, I'm not that naive. I'm not a racist or nothing like that. But when I said it about those people, I meant it, and I stand by that. Those Minutemen or the Tea Party folks, whoever it is, if they're anti-immigrant or whatever, anti-our community, then yeah, I'm going to call them racist any single day. As far as everything else, as far as like the capitalism and imperialism, we stand by that. We see that all over this planet Earth, and historically, the two things that have been the biggest enemy of our community, of all communities of color specifically, is capitalism and imperialism. So I have no problem with that. And for those people who say that I'm indoctrinating students or that I'm teaching this, no. I'm a professional. In my classroom, I do what I have to do and I teach my kids. Outside of the classroom, it's a totally different story. So I stand completely by my words, but I'm not going to say that I'm not going to allow these people who try to make me seem like a racist because they said these racist white people without explaining who I was speaking about. I think that's completely irresponsible. So I'm glad that Fox News is going to cover the story and that they're going to explain who I was speaking to, because when they make it seem that I said all white people are racist, that's irresponsible, and that's not what I meant. My white colleagues at work, they're asking me, what is wrong? What's going on? We know you're not like that. They don't know who you are. So I have no problem with white people. I have problems with capitalism and imperialism and racist whites or racist any other people who are racist against anyone. So that's our comment.
What about the call for open revolution? I mean, you said, you know, the enemy of capitalism and imperialism. That sounds almost like you got a problem with the country you live in, where you're prospering, where you're a teacher.
We support the revolution that's happening all over Latin America. And if you see what's happening, it's happening in a peaceful manner, and we support that. Whether it's in Bolivia, whether it's in Ecuador, you don't see people calling up arms, and that's not what I'm doing. So for people to say that I'm pushing for violence, you show me one time in that video where I said grab guns or grab something. I didn't say that. That's not what I mean. We need to make changes peacefully in this country. However, those people who are the most hateful people that have been calling me, they're talking about killing people. They're talking about come and get us. They're talking about we have guns, don't mess with us. Those are the violent people, not us. We don't advocate violence against anyone.
Do you support, are you an advocate of communism or Marxism if you don't like capitalism?
I have the right outside of the classroom to support anything that I want. Now, I personally, my views, I am against capitalism. Well, do I say that in my classroom? No, I don't tell them anything. I don't speak of my religious beliefs, my political beliefs. That's something that I leave completely out. I mean, really, just to cover my own end, right? But I know that's not what I'm supposed to do. But for me to go in there and tell kids what they should believe, that's something I've never done and I never will do. So people who are concerned about that, you know, that's their problem, and that's not something that I'm about. Now, what do I believe in? Yes, I'm a socialist. I believe in socialism, and I believe that's what's happening all over the continent, and that's what we support, and I will never back down from that. Now, there's no problem, and I'm not violating any law by doing that. Now, people who you might have a problem with socialism. We can agree to disagree. I have a problem with capitalism. I don't go out and attacking people. I don't threaten people with death like they're doing to me. So that's something that, if you're asking me if I'm going to back down from that, no, I'm not. I'm a socialist. I organize in the community, and I support the socialist process that's happening all over Latin America and the world.
The Arizona law, is that your latest issue? What are your thoughts on that? And do you talk about the Arizona law in your classroom at all?
Oh, of course, the students always ask me, because they always see us on TV doing the work that we do, so they ask us, and what we have done, we presented the actual, the actual bill to them so they can see it. Now, they have their own opinions, no doubt. My school is about 90+% Latino anyway. So that law, they see it as a racist law. I don't have to explain it to them. They know that. My personal views on the law, it's obviously a racist law, but I think it's a distraction. It's a distraction because the real problem in this country is the fact that the Democratic Party has not acted on the promises of immigration reform. So we're saying we're putting pressure on the Obama administration to basically keep their promises. They promised this immigration reform, so that's what we're demanding immediately. So if they have an immigration reform, this whole nonsense in Arizona wouldn't even be an issue.
So you're as upset about the Democrats not delivering a promise?
That's right. We don't expect anything from the Republicans. We know that these folks have been anti-immigrant for years. Our issue is with the Democratic Party, who promises our community and all immigrant communities immigration reform, but they've done nothing about it. So our target right now is the Obama administration for what they're doing against us. We know that there were more deportations in the first year of the Obama administration than in the last year of the Bush administration. That is not the hope and change that we were promised. So I don't advocate to the Republicans or for the Democrats. To me, both parties are anti-immigrant. Both parties do not represent the best interests of our community or any working class community.
And thank you for your time this morning. And just so that our viewers realize, you're calling for open revolution peacefully. No call to arms, as some have misconstrued your words.
Yeah, I am not making a call to arms. I'm not making something about violence or attacking people, not at all. We want change, and we need change in this country. And when you look at here in Los Angeles about 2 weeks ago, on May 1st, there were almost 200,000 to 300,000 people there.
Obama, escucha, estamos en la lucha. Obama, escucha, estamos en la lucha.
Not one person did any kind of violent act. I think there was like one person who got arrested for being drunk. We are, by and large, peaceful people. The majority of the immigrants who come here are peaceful people who they come to work, and we are not about violence. Those who are against us, however, they're the ones who show up to rallies in Arizona with AK-47s. So if they wanted to talk about violence, I think they should talk about themselves and not us, because I'm not advocating for violence. I am advocating for revolution.